All right, folks, I'm Miss Blank, and welcome to Part 1 of Unit 4, the Founding Period of the United States of America. I'm very excited. This is Part 1 in a series of PowerPoint presentations that I'm going to share with you. So without further ado, let's get going. Special note, this PowerPoint does not contain everything, so if you look for it to contain everything, you will be disappointed and sad because it doesn't. Many of the content items will be discussed in class. There's also a lot more to come in my other 3 PowerPoint presentations that will be forthcoming. So hold on to your hats. Let's go. Ooh, pretty effects. All right, so introduction to political philosophy of our founding fathers. What were these people all about? Well, I'm going to tell you what political philosophy is in just a minute, because some of you might be wondering what that is. But we need to start out with this key question up here, that what is the proper role of government? This is what our founders were really concerned about. This is what they wanted to answer, that this is what our system of government answers for the world, what their view of the proper role of government should be. Should it be big? Should it be small? Is a very, I guess, simplistic way of saying it. They had a bigger questions in mind than just should it be big or small. But this was the main central issue they had to address. I mean, do we want a big, powerful government that's in control of everything, or do we want a smaller government that gives us some individual liberties? So now, what is political philosophy? Well, basically, it's the study of human social organization and of the nature of man and women in society. What does that mean? Well, it's the examination of how society should be organized, how men and women interact in that society, and what their role is. Now, in our instance, we're talking about government, so we're looking at the role that government should play in our society. So, do you know the political philosophy of our founding fathers? That's okay, I'll tell you. Ooh, classical liberalism. Good times. Now, I want to make an important point here. When people hear the word liberal or liberalism, they tend to think of modern Democrats, modern people who are on the left end of the spectrum, and that is not correct. Classical liberalism was a whole different kind of political philosophy, and we're going to talk about the details of what that was, but it was a philosophy based on a guy I know you've heard of, John Locke, and this is a quote from him up here at the top. Every man has property in his own person. This nobody but has a right to but himself. So that pretty much encompasses John Locke's view on the whole thing. So what is classical liberalism? Let's a little bit of review here for a little bit, because I want to make sure we're all on the same page. We need to remember that our founders were children of the Enlightenment. They were very mistrustful of government. I mean, after all, they were massively beaten about the head by a strong central monarchy from very far away. So they were pretty ticked off. So they started a war. Luckily, we won. But they believed that they deserved certain rights because we exist. Rights because we are human. Government does not have a right to mess with those rights. And those rights are called natural rights. John Locke specified those rights. He said it was life, liberty, and property. The government does not give that to you. We just have it because we're human. Thomas Jefferson, with the Declaration, added the pursuit of happiness as well. So what are the characteristics? What really is classical liberalism? Well, basically, it's the belief in liberty. It's the belief that we have freedom, that rights don't come from government. Government can't give them to us. They can't take it away. They're ours. We get them because we're human, because we exist. So below here you see some key characteristics of classical liberalism. Now I would like for you guys, as a formative assignment, to translate these into your own words so we can have a nice class discussion about what these things are and what they mean. Limited government, rule of law, avoidance of arbitrary or discretionary power, the sanctity of private property and freely made contracts, and personal responsibility. So I would really love it if you guys would take each of those characteristics and put them in your own words, kind of tell me what they mean to you, and then that'll give us a nice foundation for the start of our class discussion on this subject. So like I said before, just a review, there are 2 types of liberalism. Classical liberalism is our focus, not 20th century. But just so you're aware, that's a very basic breakdown of what those 2 things are. And that is the end of part 1. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you next time.